Today is the day. We're finally going to take this little outline and make it into Punk Boy. And just for reference, I have the actual LOL Punk Boy here. Pretty good likeness, I think. Just a little bit bigger. We're going to work on that. So join us, won't you? Let's get right into it because Punk Boy has many components to him. So the first thing we'll need for supplies is we'll need to watch the video that I have up just before this one and make the body. All the instructions are there in the video. Make him out of kind of peach colored skin tone, maybe more beige. Anyway, there you go. First you'll need to do that. Then we need a lot of components for this guy. So there's going to be a lot of colors coming your way, but they're all just scraps of everything. You don't need very much of anything. So for the eyes, you're going to need brown. Punk Boy has brown eyes. White. And black. Those will do for the eyes. This is all worsted weight. If it's a little thinner or not, whatever, it doesn't matter. Whatever we do, it'll work out. We also need the white and the black for the t-shirt. For the shorts, need a tiny bit of dark gray. For the hair, we're gonna need blue. And this time, I think I'm going to do a lighter purple. I found that the black in here, you can barely see. So I'm going to make it a little bit lighter, kind of like when he has his color change. If I put my finger there, it'll lighten up a bit, and you can see that it's more this color purple with his color change. So I'm going to try that for this one. So your pick. Dark purple, light purple, whatever you like for the hair, the main part of the hair there. And we also need the skin tone for a nose and ears. And red for the sweater. And if I've forgotten anything, I will edit it later. We also need embroidery thread. I used black for the mouth and to write trouble across his t-shirt. I also used kind of a brownish tawny color for his freckles that he has there. And you can also sew on a band-aid he has on his leg right there with embroidery thread as well. And I've done the whole thing again with a G hook. This is a 4.5 millimeter, but G or whatever you feel comfortable with. I might go down to an F to make things a little smaller, but no, I don't like that because his eyes have to be big. Look at how big his eyes are in here. They're his whole face, so we'll keep it at that. Also, stitch markers, scissors, things like that. You won't need any stuffing this time around, so gather all of that and we'll come back with the first steps. Okay, the first step, of course, is to make the doll body using the video that I will link in the description below. After you've made the doll body, we're going to move on to the eyes. I'm going to make them slightly different than I've made these ones. These ones I find stick out a little bit too much. So I'm going to try to make them without the white behind. Make them a little bit less crazy eyes. So we're going to start with black yarn and our G hook. And we are going to chain 2 and we're we're going to SC 6 times in that second chain from the hook. Alright, and now we're going to switch to brown. So actually I'm going to end it almost here. That sixth one I'm just going to end like this. You see that with 2 there, so I can switch to brown. And with the brown, we're going to put 2 SC in each SC around. So it'll be 12 stitches. That 12th stitch, I'm just going to end it like this because we're going to switch back to black here. So I didn't detach it just yet. And we're going to SC in the next 5 stitches. This just kind of gives you that little bit of the top of the eyelid. And that 5th one, again, we're going to end like this. So we can switch colors again, and this time we're going to switch to the white. And we're just going to SC around till the black, the beginning of the black there. If you feel like you need to add an extra stitch in there to make it not pucker, that's fine as well, because you want the eye to lay flat. And that last stitch, what we can do is just kind of slip stitch in there, and we're going to fasten off all 3 colors. Leave the black and the white a little bit longer because we're going to use those to sew the eye on. The brown can be like that. And I'm going to just fasten that one off. Then I'm going to just tie some of this together to make sure that everything's tight and not going to come loose. That's better. And what we'll do is that'll be one flat eye, and you see how it looks like that. Okay, now we're going to make another one of those. Now we've got 2 eyes with lots of strings hanging from them. And what we're going to do first is attach that long strand of white we've left to our yarn needle here. And the flecks of the eyes on Punk Boy are up in this top kind of corner. So from behind, I'm just going to take some of this thread here, and I'm going to put a little stitch right in there for a little eye fleck. And to sew this on now, I'm going to tuck everything back in here, and I'm going to position his eye on the front here. I'm going to leave this black because I'm going to sew the one part on with black and one part on with white. Okay, we've got those eyes sewn on. I think that's a little bit better than my first attempt, which kind of made gougy little eyes. I think these ones are a bit nicer. So we're going to work on the nose next. We're going to take our skin tone yarn, and we're just going to stitch the nose in. I put a knot at the end of the yarn, and for facial features you can just start from the top of the head. We're going to put a wig over top anyway, so if that knot doesn't come all the way through, it's not a big deal. And I just put a few stitches kind of pinching a nose together. And as for the freckles and the mouth, all I do is I sew those on with embroidery thread. So there we go, we have a little nose. Oops. Tuck in my extra threads here, and there we go. We have a little nose. There really is no rhyme or reason to stitching a mouth for Punk Boy. I must have sewn on about 15 different mouths. A smile, a little dot, a circle in pink, in orange, I just found that this black one worked the best. To sew on a few little freckles, I tried firstly, you can see from this one, maybe you can't, the brown didn't show up very well. So this time I kind of put a little bit of black ones in, but even those you can't see. So if you want to omit those altogether, it probably wouldn't be a bad thing anyway. Normally we do ears next, but because the hair fits on so differently, we're going to do the hair first and then put the ears where they fit with the hair. For the hair, we're going to use purple. I'm going to try this lighter purple this time, this lavender one. And our G hook, we are going to chain 2 and put 6 SC in the second chain from the hook. Basically, we are going to follow the head pattern that we did for the body of the doll all the way up until 40 stitches, but I'll go through that again with you. Insert my stitch marker, and then we're going to put 2 SC in each stitch all the way around for a total of 12 stitches. We're going to increase again by putting 2 stitches in the first stitch, 1, 2, and then 1 SC in the next, and we're going to repeat that pattern around, 2 and then 1 for a total of 18 stitches. Next we're going to put 2 SC in the first stitch and then 1 SC in each of the next 2 stitches. And we're going to repeat this pattern around for a total of 24 stitches. Next, we're going to increase again by putting 2 stitches in the first stitch and then 1 SC in each of the next 3 stitches. And we'll repeat that pattern around for a total of 30 stitches. You'll remember at this point on the head we started to do the increases a bit differently. So we're going to put 2 SC in each of the next 3 stitches. 2 there, 2 there, and 2 there, and then we are going to put 1 SC in each of the next 12 stitches, and we are going to repeat that pattern for a total of 36 stitches. Next we are going to put 2 SC in each of the next 2 stitches, and then 1 SC in each of the next 16 stitches, and then we are going to repeat that pattern one more time to finish the round, and it will be a total of 40 stitches. So far we've got kind of a flat pancake looking thing here that's following the head pattern, so we're going to start to shape the back of it now by back to where we were here. We are going to chain 1, turn, and we're going to SC in the next 20 stitches across. Next we're going to chain 1 and we're going to SC across that 20 again, and we're going to do that for 4 rows, just back and forth. At this point, we've got kind of a funny helmet thing going on here. So we're going to work on the taper, and then we're going to fill out a little bit of the roundness of it. So we've done our 4 rows here, for a total of 5 rows actually, because the starting row counts. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to decrease, so SC2 together, and we're going to do that 2 times. So SC together again. Then we're going to do 1 SC in each stitch for 12 stitches. And then we are going to SC together twice at the end. And this will taper it down to 16 stitches across. Next, we're going to turn and chain 1 again, and we're going to repeat that pattern by SC2 together twice. And 2, and then we're going to SC 1 in each stitch for 8 stitches, and then we're going to SC 2 together twice again, and that will bring us to a total of 12 stitches. At this point, we can try our helmet on our doll, and we can either fasten off, or what I like to do is to stitch once all the way around, just to kind of bring it in and finish some of these sharp edges. So what I'm going to do is, I ended here, so I'm going to chain 1, and I'm just going to put 1 SC in each stitch all the way around the entire head. You'll just have to evenly space them for this part here, but it'll look more finished when it's done, just to have that extra row of stitching all the way around. And it's a good idea to try this helmet on the doll. Make sure there's room for ears, and the mohawk will be across here. And then if we like how it looks, we can either go around one more time if you want to fill it out a little more, or we can end with a slip stitch in that first stitch there and fasten off with a very long tail, because we're going to sew on the helmet with it. We're not going to do that at this point because we've still got to put the decorations and the actual mohawk on it before we sew it onto the doll. Next, we're going to work on the actual mohawk, so we're going to use our royal blue yarn, and we're going to chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to turn and SC in the first chain there, and to the end for 4 SC, 2, oops, 3, 4, next we're going to chain 1, turn it, and we're going to SC in the first, and SC 3, 1, 2, 3. This will bring us right to the end again. but we want to make that spike. So what we're going to do is chain 2. And then we're going to SC in that second chain there. And then to the end, which is 4 SC. 2, 3, 4. So you'll see that this side will be flat right here where my finger is, and this side is going to have little spikes in it. So we're going to turn, chain, and we're going to SC 3 and chain 2 again, and we're going to just repeat this pattern until we've got our Mohawk string all the way long enough to reach across to almost the end, and that is where we're going to taper it off a little bit and make it smaller. So we've done 3, chain 2, then turn and SC 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going back and forth repeating that pattern until we've got all these crazy little spikes for our Mohawk. Okay, after about 10 spikes, you'll see it's about this long. We're going to taper it a little bit. Next, we want to end our little spikes on the flat part that goes against the head. And we're going to turn again and chain 1. And we're just going to SC1 and chain 2. So we're making a tinier spike. We're going to turn and then SC in that second chain there, and that 1 SC, so there'll be 2. Oops, 1, 2, and we're going to do that one more time. So we're going to chain 1, turn it, SC1, chain 2, and then SC in the second chain from the hook. This gets a little confusing, I know, but it's just that little taper, so we have 2 more little spikes, and then one's in that SC. There we have it. So we have 2 little spikes there just for the end when we put it on. Let's see here. See, and then we'll have the 2 little spikes right on the end there. Now we're going to fasten off, and we're going to fasten off with quite a long string for sewing the Mohawk on. Now, if you want your Mohawk to be soft, you can just keep it with 1, but for me, I am going to make another one and sew it together to make it a little stronger. So repeat that process one more time. If you're making a second one, fasten off again with a long piece for sewing, because we're going to use one of the tails to sew the Mohawk pieces together, and we're going to use one to sew it onto the head when we're ready. So now we can sew our two pieces together to strengthen it up, make it a nice standing mohawk for Punk Boy. So we're going to put this aside for now, and we're going to pick up our kind of hat head here. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take a length of black yarn, tie a knot in it, not the back, bottom, whatever, and hook it to our sewing needle here. And we are going to make the markings in Punk Boy's head. Here's the doll again, and you can see his head has all of these black markings on it. Now, the first time I did this, I had darker purple, and you can see the black markings are very difficult to see on here. So if you use dark purple, if you don't want to put the markings on, I don't think it's a big deal, but since I'm using a lighter lavender color this time, I'm just going to kind of, they look a little horseshoe-ish or like paw print-ish. So I'm just going to kind of make a few markings like this on here, all over the head. Now that we've got our Punk Boy markings sewn on, we can sew the little hat head down onto our doll now using this long tail that we left while making it. Alright, he wouldn't be much of a Punk Boy without his mohawk, so we're going to sew that on next. The reason we're sewing it on at the end is because if you see Punk Boy, his mohawk extends onto his forehead here. So what we're going to do is position his mohawk the way it works right from the bottom, middle, and we're going to sew it all the way up, and then we're going to use the rest of our long thread here to form a sort of triangle right here with our stitching so that it looks like Punk Boy. Make Punk Boy look a little more Punk Boy, he's gonna need some ears on this face. So we're gonna do the ears by taking our skin tone yarn, and it's really very simple. We're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to SC in the second chain from the hook right here, and in the next 2, 1, 2, and that is it. That's all she wrote. We're going to fasten off. We'll leave a little bit of a tail for sewing. Don't need too much because the ear isn't very big. And we'll make another one. And then we'll kind of shape them around like this. Can you see that? And position them on the side here of Punk Boy. You see, it's kind of like that, and sew it on. That's all there is to it. Now that Punk Boy has some ears, we'd better make him some shorts. He needs some clothes. So if you remember on the doll body pattern, I had left some where you did back loop only, right in the middle of the body here. Those loops that we made for that is where we're going to start first. So we're going to attach dark gray, because he's got dark gray shorts, and we're going to attach it to any of these loops at the back here. We are going to just SC actually we're going to chain one here. And we're going to SC in that one that we've attached to. And I'm just going to kind of work in this last yarn too while I'm at it. And we're going to SC in each of these unworked stitches all the way around. And I believe there are 30 stitches. We've got this first row of our shorts done here, and we're going to be stitching in the round, so we don't need to join. We're just going to continue around. We can put a stitch marker in there if we need, and we're going to continue to SC around for 30 stitches, one in each stitch for 4 rounds, kind of building those shorts, and they should come up like around him because they're going to be attached. All right, now we want the part in Punk Boy's shorts that actually form the shorts. So if you're not quite in the center back, just put a few crochet stitches in there till you reach that kind of center back. As we're going to, can you see, we're going to reach all the way across to the center middle. You can count this as 14 stitches, or you can just eyeball it basically, and we're going to kind of put a stitch right in the center. Okay, like so. And then we're going to stitch all the way around one leg, put one SC in each stitch. Once we get around that first leg, we're just going to continue by SC in each stitch all the way around that second leg. Then we're going to fasten off and weave in our ends, and that is it for the shorts. I'm almost done the stitching for the shorts. I'm just going to do one kind of center stitch again at the end just to put it back to the back and kind of form that crotch a little bit better. Okay, now we've got to make Punk Boy's shirt. So with white yarn, we're going to chain 16, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Then we're going to turn, and we're going to SC in that second chain from the hook, and in every chain across, and this will equal a total of 15 stitches across. Next we're going to turn it, we're going to chain one, and we're going to SC in the first stitch and every stitch across again for 15, and we're going to do that for 2 rows. Now that we've done 3 rows of the 15 stitches, we're going to turn, chain 1 again. This time we're going to SC 2 together at the beginning and the end. So we'll SC 2 together here. Then we will stitch across for 11. And then we're going to SC 2 together at this end. Alright, then we're going to turn, chain 1, and we're going to repeat that row again, only this time we're going to SC together 1, Then we're going to stitch for 9 stitches and then SC together again. Okay, I'm going to piece this together. So we've SC'd 2 twice, then we SC 3, and then we SC 2 together twice at the end. That will give us a total of 7 stitches. Then we're going to turn, chain 1, and we're just going to SC across, straight for 7. And next we're going to fasten off, leaving a long tail for sewing the 2 pieces of the top together. Then we are going to repeat that process to make the back of the shirt. So we're going to fasten off. There we have it, front of the shirt. Make another one for the back. Now there are 2 pieces for the shirt. Take one piece that you want to be the front, and you can embroider the word trouble, Trouble, on the front here, like this. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is your own kind of creation anyway, so there we have it. Now we've got a front and a back. And what we're going to do is use our sewing needle, and we're going to position the shirt, and we're going to sew it together. I'd recommend using one long one for one side and then position the other one so that the other long one is on this side, right there, and sew along here. So it looks kind of like a tube top right now, and we'll do the black on the sleeves next. Okay, so it looks like he's wearing a little tube top right now. We're just going to do the top of the sleeves in black just by sewing it together with a length of black yarn. So we're just going to kind of throw some stitches in there to make it look like the top of the sleeve. Nothing too fancy. Now Punk Boy is almost fully dressed. The last thing we're going to do is the tie around red sweater that he has. I'm not going to make a full sweater for a little doll. It's kind of going to be a faux tie around. So we're going to take our red yarn. There we go. And we're going to chain 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Quite know why I said 40 there when in my book it also says then turn and chain 1 again. So that would make it 41. Anyway, then we are going to SC across in each chain for a total of 40. And next at the end of this row we are going to turn, chain 1, SC in that first stitch, and in every stitch across again. This is forming the arms that we're going to tie around Punk Boy's waist for his sweater. Turn, chain 1, and we're just going to slip stitch in the next 12 stitches. So we're somewhere in the middle of our piece here. Once we get 12 slip stitches in to our project here, we're going to do 16 regular SC, and I'm just going to mark this just so I can tell where the row starts of actual stitching. And we're going to SC for 16 stitches. Next we're going to chain 1 and turn, And we're going to SC in each stitch just across to that stitch marker we left there, so 16 SC, and we are going to then turn chain 1 again and go across, so it'll be a total of 2 rows of 16 SC. So because we made Punk Boy's legs so short and stubby, there's really only one more row to this sweater. If we made it any longer, he'd be tripping on it. So we're going to turn chain 1. We're going to SC, then HDC, then 2DC, double crochet, 1, 2, we're just kind of rounding it out a little bit. It's kind of the little bits here. So the next thing is HDC again. There, and then we're going to SC for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we're going to HDC. 2 DCs, 1, 2, then an HDC, and an SC. And we're going to fasten off here. Don't worry about making a long tail because we're going to have to weave in this end anyway. Weaved in the ends of this red sweater here, and I'm just going to position it around his waist. If you're a Punk Boy purist, you can take black embroidery thread and kind of make the X's for the plaid part of the sweater, but I think red just as it is will do. And I'm just going to take this length of red yarn here. Oops. Get it in the right position here. And we'll sew it in place. You can sew it down on the back. If you have little children playing with it, you might want to sew it down a little bit more. Then all that's left to do, if you'd like, is Punk Boy has a little band-aid on this part of his leg. You could embroider that on. And as for shoes and the little milk carton that he comes with, I will make a video in the future with a few of the accessories, the common accessories for LOL dolls, like the bottles, the shoes, some sunglasses, those types of things. Maybe even the little bags that the little sisters come with. We'll see. But other than that, our Punk Boy is done. What do you guys think? I have 2 of them now. Do you like the color change hair or the dark purple hair better? I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards this one, the light one, but it's not quite a full color change because the blue is still the same. So I don't know. I kind of like them both. Anyway, if you liked this video, please click a like, subscribe. I think we might be doing, I had a suggestion for unicorn next. So I think we might do unicorn, LOL, but at the rate I'm going, it'll probably be the end of November before we see that one. So click on the little bell and you'll be informed when it comes out. Subscribe, like, and bye-bye for now from 3 punk boys.